It's an honor to be here with you, James. Thanks for spending some time with me. We're at Traughber Mechanical, and I heard about James' story, and I said, man, we got to stop for a second. I want him to tell a little bit about your journey, about getting to work here when you were in a tough time, and why that was important to you in your life.
Well, one, it got me out of jail. Then I didn't have to sit in there. I got out and do positive things every day instead of sitting there listening to everybody's negativity every day.
Yeah.
And
so you were in jail,
yep.
And you'd already had a little bit of this training, and they said you were able to come out and work. And one of the reasons it's so neat to me is, I believe in second chances.
Yep.
You were serving your time,
yep.
but you still wanted to contribute.
Yep.
And there's companies everywhere that are desperate for people willing to work, and you were, and they gave you that chance.
They gave me that chance. And they held my money. You know what I'm saying? They give me. I had an allowance every week, but they held my money in the bank account. When I got out, I had that money. I could rent me a place, get me a car. And didn't have to go back to where I come from to ask him for nothing instead of getting out of jail broke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have.
Well, that's what I was going to say. How big a difference, and I don't know if you have any other folks that maybe you serve time with that are out, the difference between having that money and already having employment versus none of that, it would have been hard to have hope or feeling like, what would you do? The
only thing you do is go back to where you come from, or like a Salvation Army, or you can't do nothing.
And so now you've got your own place. You're still working.
Still working.
And these guys here sing your praises.
Yeah.
They said you got to hear James and hear his story. And so I appreciate you being willing to share it. I want to tell this story all across Kentucky. We've got a workforce crisis. Everybody's not like you. They're not willing to go and work hard. A lot are if that opportunity exists. And giving people a second chance. I tell folks, if they leave jail, I don't ever want to see you again in there.
Yeah.
And now you're doing great.
See, another thing too, like some boys got their felony records or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Are scared to even go to a factory and get a job, where that program introduces them into the factory and they accept them and they're happy to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where otherwise they wouldn't even go there because they'd be ashamed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it helps people out that way too. Gives them self-confidence. And it is what you do. You make it. There's good and bad in there.
Yeah.
But if anybody wants a chance, right there it is. Just
I love
it. Work.
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you working hard, and I appreciate you sharing your story with me and the rest of the state.
I hope you get that going on, because it's beneficial for the public too. You got a guy getting out there, you ain't having to support or pay whatever. You ain't have to take care of him. He's actually taking care of himself. And
amen. Well said. Well said. Thank you again, sir.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.